My name is Linda, and today I want to share 4 topics from Confessions of a Public Speaker from Scott Berkun. The 4 topics are naked, mistakes, anxiety and preparation. I'm a speaker, trainer, author and coach myself, and as Scott Berkun, I was asked very often, when you're in front of all these people, do you imagine them naked to be more relaxed? Well, Scott says that is the most known and the stupidest idea of all to give a good speech, and I totally agree with him. It would be confusing, so I never did it. Don't try it. So, second, what about mistakes? Don't try to not make mistakes. It's normal to make mistakes. And when you read the unedited transcripts from Martin Luther King or Winston Churchill, you'll find mistakes. And when you're familiar with German politics and have ever seen a speech from Stoiber, you will know that mistakes are not the problem about being successful. Actually, I really like to show speeches from Stoiber in my seminars, because when people kind of get, I want to have it perfect and I made a mistake and I can do it, when they see how Stoiber most of the time is not able to have one sentence right, they relax more. So, what is important about making mistakes is how do you react to your own mistakes. When you totally panic and drown in fear, your audience will panic and drown with you. Well, when you stay calm, give a cheeky smile, or even better, make a joke about it, the audience will laugh and stay with you. So, learn how to handle mistakes. Try not to prevent them. It will not work anyway. So, point 3. What about anxiety? Mark Twain once said there are 2 types of speakers. The ones that are nervous and the ones that are liars. So, it is normal to be excited when you give a speech. And on the upside, Scott says it's a good thing because it focuses attention. When you're in front of many people talking, it's good to be focused on your topic and don't think of the next holiday and try to come back of what did I want to speak about. So take the upside. So, what about preparation? The really good speeches seem way more spontaneous as they are. Actually, the more easygoing and spontaneous a speaker seems to be, the more preparation he put into it. And Scott says that every speech he gives, he has gone through 3 or 4 times. So by the time of 3 or 4 times he's able to give the speech without slides, which is really helpful. Like one time I had to give a training outside of Berlin, a small town outside of Berlin, and it was snowing really hard. It was the first time ever I came too late to a training. And it was snowing so hard, no train, no taxi, nothing would go out of Berlin for an hour. And even though, as trainer, you're supposed to be really early, of course, and I planned it, I couldn't do nothing about it. So I came there, everyone was sitting and already waiting, almost a little frustrated already, and I tried to put up everything and the technique and everything, and it didn't work. My computer and the beamer wouldn't talk to each other. There was no other computer in this house, and I couldn't do nothing about it. They didn't even have a whiteboard. They had nothing to visualize. First I panicked because I felt like without hands and arms and legs and no visualization. Well, I came down, thought, okay, I know the slides, I have to do it anyway and I can do it. So I asked the people to help me to build the slides. So I had one person for the speaker, one person for the message, who would run over from the speaker to the listener. And so we had a lot of fun making slides with people. And it was very memorable for the people, also for me, of course. And it would have never been so much fun and in the end also relaxing if I had not taken all the preparation before. So, of course, I wish for you that the technique will always work for you, but if it doesn't, you can do it anyway. So what else can you do for preparation? Scott says there are some points, and when you follow them through, it does help. First of all, of course, be early, don't rush. When you rush, your anxiety level is up already, so of course that doesn't help. Make a tech and sound rehearsal really early. So not during the sound rehearsal, people are already coming in, it doesn't work, you panic. Make it early. And what I really like also, he says, walking around stage helps because your body becomes comfortable with the room. Well, I really like it too, because sometimes you see like cables on the floor, and even if they're taped really good for safety, you can trip on these. So if you don't want to build in some slapstick, you better know where the taped cables are, so you know where you can move easily and where you have to watch out. So what else can you do? Sit in the audience. I would recommend also sit in the last row of the audience, because then you have an impression on how small or big you are, and maybe you put some more effort on big gestures, so the people in the last row still see something of you and get something out of your presentation. What you can also do is talk to people in the audience before you start, because people you already connected with are more likely to give you feedback, smile, nod, and you can look to these people around, and that really helps calming yourself down and knowing that what you're talking makes sense. Also, eat before you give a speech, and a little early on, so you're not too full but also not hungry. I couldn't give a speech being hungry at all. And when you're scared of being judged, this is a big anxiety of many people. What if I fail? What if I'm being judged? Think about it this way. People who want to judge you are people who are interested in the topic. So prepare and work with them. It's much better than people are not interested in all and fall asleep doing the speech. You have a harder time working with them. Like one time, some guy came in the training and told me, well, my boss sent me today. It's not a good day for training for me anyway, and I'm not interested in the topic. Well, first I had to work with him a little bit on being motivated at all, because before we could start. So when there are people you expect to judge you, of course it might excite you a little bit, but it's easier because you can work with them all right away. And the last one, and I think the most freeing one, is that Scott says, when you're able to talk to a small group of people at all, you have the skills to give a speech. So, that's for today. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. I'll probably make a second video about this great book. So subscribe if you want to learn more about it, or about other psychological inspiration topics. And have a great day. Goodbye.